Hey guys, I'm here underneath my car right now. It's a 91 Toyota MR2, and today I'm replacing the ball joints. I've done the rear already, and I'm onto the front. So this is the front right ball joint that we're looking at right now. Well, the control arm, I guess. Let me move the light here. This right here is the ball joint, and the bolts that support it are this one with on the control arm, and this one on the right here. So we'll have to take off those, pop this bolt out with a Pitman Arm Puller. Looks like this, and you can attach a ratchet to this and it'll move this piece upwards, pushing this screw or this bolt up and out of the control arm. So this is a very useful tool to do that, and if you have an extra $10 or so to spend, I would highly recommend it. You can get this at Autozone, and make sure you get the smaller one, because the bigger one will be too big for our cars. And I believe the part number is 27022 for this one. So make sure you get the smaller one, and it'll work great for you. So the first thing you have to do is loosen the castle nut here, and for some reason I like to loosen the bolts here, but it really doesn't matter. The first thing we'll do, take off the castle nut here, attach the Pitman Arm Puller on like so. Oh, not too far. This, and then turn this until it touches the bottom of the bolt, and then from there we'll proceed by attaching a ratchet to the bottom of this, and continue to turn it until you hear a loud pop, which basically is just the bolt there releasing from the control arm. So let me do that, and I'll get back to you. Okay, now that the bolt that is connected to the steering knuckle here, with the lower the ball joint here, these bolts are now both off, and the castle nut here is gone, and I've used the Pitman Arm Puller to push that bolt on the control arm, or sorry, on the ball joint out of the control arm. So now everything is loose, and now we need to take out this old ball joint here and replace it with a new one. What I did on the other side, which somehow worked, I was able to loosen these, not all the way, don't take it all the way, because it's a pain in the ass to put it back in. So what I did was loosen it so that the bolt here won't come off from the control arm here, and then using some muscle, I wedged a breaker bar between the lower control arm here and the tie rod here. I don't know if this is recommended though, because this could be a sensitive part. Although it is built strongly, it is definitely something that can get out of alignment. So if that's not something you want to do, what other people have done is take off the control arm completely, and then go from there. I've never done that, so I can't say how that works, but this is what I'm going to do. Actually, another reason why I'm doing that is because I'm replacing the tie rod here, so I don't really care if it gets messed up. It's messed up anyways. So we'll go from there, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, now the new one is in. Took some wrestling to get the old one out. But what I did was, once I pushed, oh, that one, there it goes. Once this gets pushed out of the way, the bolt that goes through the lower control arm here, that gets released, and what I did was wedge a hammer in between, the claw side of the hammer in between the top of the ball joint, I guess it would be, yeah, this flat side here, and then basically just clawed it out, or kind of crowbarred it out, and that came loose. So what I'm going to do now is put the, well, since it fell out, I'll put the new ball joint in, and then put the screws in. I won't torque it down yet, just enough so that it won't fall out of there. And then I'll wrestle with the breaker bar and the control arm again to get the that last bolt in through the control arm, and then I can go on to torquing these down. That should be it for the ball joints. Just a few things you want to, or if you care to do, would be just put anti-seize on all threads. Any part that's touching the body would be a good idea. But honestly, it's really up to you, because these parts should not break down every 10,000 miles or anything like that. I have about 135,000 miles on my car here, and these ball joints were actually still pretty good, I think. So just something to keep in mind. So I'm going to go off and finish this off, and show you the finished product after that. Alright, now everything's in and torqued down. I ended up not having to loosen these actually. I loosened them, but the bolt didn't go out that way any further, so it really didn't do anything. It does make it easier if it does slip out a little bit. You get a little bit more clearance so that the bolt goes above and into the hole here, but it wasn't necessary. And then I torqued down these. The castle nut, I believe, is 59, and these two bolts here are 58 foot-pounds. So make sure you tighten those down correctly. And the last thing you need to do is put the cotter pin through the hole and through the castle nut, just as a safety measure. And then that's all you need to do. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.